Dear students, friends, very good afternoon. Today we are going to deal about the course in the case of solid mechanics, and the topic is the strain energy. What is called as strain energy in the case of solid mechanics? Generally, you can define the strain energy in the form of the product of the applied force into the deformation or the deflection. So the product which is called as the strain energy, that is force F into the deflection is delta. But the deflection should be in the direction of the applied force. The unit of strain energy is joule. So what is called as 1 joule? The 1 joule is equal to 1 Newton meter. So how will you define the 1 joule? So if you are applying a force of 1 unit of force, that is 1 Newton, you can say example, definitely it will go for 1 unit of deflection either in centimeter or millimeter in the direction of the applied force. That is the product which is called as force into the deformation. So that is 1 Newton meter. So 1 joule is equal to 1 Newton meter. Similarly, 1 kilojoule is nothing but 1000 joules. So 1000 into 1 Newton meter. So it is equal to 1000 Newton meter. So that is called as a strain energy. Then what are the types of strain energy? The strain energy may be varied due to the application of the load, either in the form of gradually applied load or the suddenly applied load or the impact load. So based on that, we can have the strain energy in the form of the applied force into the deformation. But if you take the gradually applied load, you have to put the load in a very small unit of distance, that is either 0.5 mm or 1 mm. So the impact of the load is very low. So that's why we call it as a gradually applied load. So if you go for the suddenly applied load, we are dropping a load or the weight at a distance of some considerable distance, either 1 centimeter or 5 centimeter, etc. That is called as a suddenly applied load. So this suddenly applied load will produce the stress of nearly around 2 times the stress produced due to the gradually applied load. So if you are getting for a stress of say 20 Newton per square millimeter for the gradually applied load, so here you will get 20 into 2, that is called as 40 Newton per square millimeter in the case of suddenly applied load. Then what is the strain energy stored due to the this impact load? So what is called as an impact load? If you are dropping a load in a very high distance or a very high from the ground level, so for example either 0.5 meter or 1 meter, so the load applied is having an impact on the floor or where the load is dropped on the any surface. So definitely, so for this impact load will be very much higher than the gradually applied load or the suddenly applied load. So normally 10 to 25 times generally I am talking about the impact stress. So for that you have to use the equation, get the impact stress. So what these strain energy will produce in the case of any practical application, either in the case of a spring, either open coil helical spring or a closed coil helical spring in the case of two-wheeler or the four-wheeler vehicles. So that is always converted in terms of joule, that is in terms of 1 Newton meter. So this is about the things what we are going to see today. Thank you very much for the patient listening. Thank you. God bless.